Hello everybody and welcome along to a brand new video. Of course we are over a month now into the Doctor Who gap year of 2019 unfortunately, with Resolution airing on New Year's Day, and we're not going to get another episode until at least New Year's Day 2020, if not later, depending on whether there's a special or not. And there was obviously a lot of criticism for the show for choosing to have that gap year, and there are definitely very legitimate reasons why it does seem a terrible idea. But I also don't think it is the worst thing in the world. It isn't a complete disaster that we've got a gap year, because there could be some benefits to it. I think it's fair to say there was a very, very mixed reception to Series 11 of Doctor Who, with a lot of positivity around it, a lot of people who did enjoy it, but also a lot of criticism of the show for many, many different reasons. Obviously the whole political rubbish, which I do think is... There are political messages in some of the episodes, but I don't think it's to the extent that people are trying to make out, that it is detrimental to the story and ruining it and everything like that. But then the fan base is just a little bit all over the place with those kind of things at the moment. So I don't want to tackle that too much, but there definitely is the sort of argument that the writing wasn't always fantastic, that Chris's episodes were not particularly great. There's too many companions and not enough well-written companions, not enough for them to do in the stories was a big problem. Not any sort of arc through the series, very little in terms of returning things from the past. So there was a lot of things that can be improved on for Series 12. And so I think one of the good points for having this break is that it allows them to have a little bit more time to kind of dwell on what worked and what didn't in Series 11 and be able to rectify that for Series 12. There is no denying that probably a lot of the scripts for Series 12 were at least in the process of being written before or during the release of Series 11. So a lot of the sort of criticism of Series 11 isn't necessarily going to be able to be put in before the scripts are written, because scripts are written massively in advance. So it's but by now, even though filming is only just about starting, they've probably written all the scripts for Series 12. So they might not be able to take on that much from it, but definitely sort of peripherally they should be able to take on a bit of feedback and be able to hopefully sort of tweak it. And even sort of, I'm sure personally, looking at it before it even was released, they would have been able to, Chris and the other executive producers and everybody like that, would have been able to look at it and say, what do we like about this? What do we want to change about this? Because it's pretty much a completely new crew for Doctor Who Series 11, it was. And so it probably wasn't going to be perfect straight off the bat. There, of course, I'm sure there are things they feel they could improve on and do better for Series 12, and hopefully they'll be able to bring that out. Sort of having more time as well, it gives them that. I think that's one of the sort of, I can't remember if it's a quoted reason or whatever, but one of the reasons was to do with just allowing them more time to be able to put the stories together. And I think if it does mean that we are going to get much, much better episodes, then it's worth the wait. Of course, we don't know that until we get there, so we can be very sceptical and we don't have much reason to be positive given based on Series 11, I think it's fair to say. But there is more, having lots of time hopefully means they can invest a bit more, take their time over the episodes more, help to tweak them and really get them as good as they can possibly be, which hopefully should create a better overall product for Series 12. I think there's no denying that it does to some degree break the momentum that Series 11 had built up, but there's an element of Series 11 having started with momentum and then lost it to a large degree, when the viewing figures obviously significantly dropped between episode 1 and episode 10, and even Resolution, the special as well. So maybe having that break will kind of just allow sort of viewers to relax, refresh. Having that time off will be sort of willing to give it another go, where maybe they wouldn't be if it hadn't been such a long period of time between the two series. I think it also gives the opportunity for sort of the fan base to cool off a bit, as it were, because I think there was a lot of negativity around the show, a lot of hatred being sort of thrown from one side to the other depending on people's opinions and everything like that. And it was to a large degree sad to see how sort of, I think, without sort of exaggerating, the word toxic was used a lot about the Doctor Who fan base, and there was definitely an element of that. So hopefully kind of having this year off, this year where you don't have to spend 12 months criticising this Jodie Whittaker's Doctor or Chris Chibnall's writing or Series 11's political stance or whatever. You don't have to do that. You can just have a relaxing year enjoying old Doctor Who stuff you like and things like that. And hopefully people will sort of feel a little bit more reinvigorated in time for Series 12, particularly if the episodes are sort of at least looking more positive going into it. Having maybe a better trailer, better sort of hints at what's coming from the stories, because I think they were a little bit too spoiler conscious for Series 12, for Series 11 even. I know I always said I wanted less spoilers, but they went too far the other way and hid things that we don't even care about, like the return of Tim Shaw, which we really weren't fussed about, and they still kept that as hidden as they possibly could when it was so obvious. So I think giving a little bit more information would help them as well, and just having that extra bit of time will hopefully help the producers and the show, and will also help the fan base and the audience to just kind of refresh and be ready for Series 12 when it does come round. Other than that, there's no denying that it is not the greatest decision in the world and has disappointed a fair amount of fans, and that's completely fair enough. I am one of those disappointed fans to a degree. It does mean obviously we can all go back and enjoy a lot of sort of the older Doctor Who. I'm currently going through Classic Who, so it gives me more time to be able to kind of delve into that and really work my way through that. So I'm kind of, in a way, I don't feel like I'm losing my Doctor Who fix to the same degree, particularly as I didn't massively enjoy Series 11. I'm not sort of, if it was a Moffat Capaldi era series, I'd be really, really excited and really disappointed like I was in 2016 that the series got delayed. But with Series 12, it's kind of like I'm looking forward to it, and of course I'm going to watch it and get excited about it, but it's not a sort of, I desperately need it now, and I'm so disappointed that it's being delayed by 3 months, because I'm just not quite as engaged and enthused and excited about this era of Doctor Who. Of course, that could change in Series 12. If they get Series 12 right and it sort of ticks all the boxes of what I want from the show, then brilliant, I'll be super engaged again and super excited for Series 13 when it hopefully comes around, whenever that may be. But for now, I'm kind of happy to wait and be able to go back and enjoy the sort of previous parts of the show. But what about you guys? What do you think about the gap year for Doctor Who? Can you see some positives in it? Do you think it's only a bad decision for the show to delay it, or do you think it might help the quality of the episodes that there has been a bit of a delay for Series 12? But that's just a quick little video just giving my thoughts on sort of the gap year and why it's maybe not the most terrible idea in the world. Even if it is a little bit disappointing, I think it's still not a complete disaster. But that's it with this video, guys. Do remember to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you again very soon for another video. Goodbye!